Yay. All right, folks. If you are currently sitting in this general area, you actually got the wrong letter. You guys are the ones who aren't in NJHS. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. You guys have been accepted into NJHS. Congratulations. Here is what that means. Right now, that doesn't mean much. Because you filled out the application, we've gone through that whole thing, we've looked at the application, 5 teachers said, oh, this person's fairly decent, and they decided to allow you to join. It is up to you to keep yourself there. So, some of the things we're going to talk about today have to do with these forms that you got right here. Some things are happening very soon, some things are not happening very soon at all, so it's going to take us a while. The thing that you need to keep in mind over the next couple of days, you've been accepted. That means that you are invited to what Mr. Brobiak coined a long time ago is called Super Happy Fun Night. We're trying to think of a better title, or at least a shorter title.
Better title. There's no better. I think
Super.
Jansen actually did it, but
Oh. But I like to blame Brobiak for most things, so that's fine.
better.
Like global warming, Brobiak. All right. So what that means, that is a night where you stay after school, and first of all, you get to know each other. There are a lot of activities that we will do in order to see who our leaders are. At the end of the evening, and the evening is quite long, the evening will last from 4:05, or as soon as you can get your butt down to the cafeteria, until around 10:45. Yes. That means you get to be at school at the nighttime.
Scary.
I know. So that should not be the most exciting part of that evening.
No, it is.
But if it is, then good for you. You need more to do. What you will do at the end of that night, having seen how people act throughout the evening, you will elect your officers for the year. We will have a president. There is a vice president. There are a few other offices. But you will elect those people. Those people will represent you in National Junior Honor Society. So they will have to step up a little bit. There are a few responsibilities that they will do. We will try to meet with them as often as possible. It's been a little bit harder for the 8th graders this year because of our lack of best, hence why we have 15 meetings going on today. And at the end of the year, there is this little thing called induction. After you complete NJHS, in other words, end of 8th grade. So after you have gotten all your hours, which you'll need 35 service hours, we'll talk about that more over the course of the next few days. After you have maintained your grades for all the rest of this year and 8th grade, you will be officially inducted into National Junior Honor Society. If you are in one of those officer positions, you have more responsibility. You will be speaking. You will be in front of people. You will be, once again, representing your chapter. If that's something that you don't have any interest in, that's okay. Because honestly, that is not for everyone. So if going through the evening for Super Happy Fun Night, if you don't want to take on that role, you don't have to. Now, people may nominate you to take on that role, but you don't have to. So, just in terms of Super Happy Fun Night, there are games, there are some other things, there is food.
Let's go.
Oh, yay, food. Plus some things that we will do with you. That is something that has been going on for NJHS for how many years now? A lot. 18?
Yeah, right around.
18! That means, like, older than you, for those of you who are bad at math. So,
What if I can't attend or I have to leave early?
then you're not in. You're out of NJHS. That's not true. If you cannot attend, that's fine. It is not required. However, you will not be able to hold any sort of officer position. So if that is something that you were interested in, you have to be at Super Happy Fun Night this Friday. So,
What if I have to leave early?
what if you have to leave early? That is fine too, but you will need to sign out. Sorry, my brain hurts. So there will be a sign in, sign out for anyone who has to leave early or come late. If that is the case, that is completely fine. As long as you were there in some capacity for the evening, you have the possibility of being an officer. So we'll talk about how all that works, but you will be nominated by your peers. And then there is a voting system, in which case we will get our list of candidates, and then we will vote, just like how people would vote normally.
2 things I need to bring.
2 things you need to bring. So first of all, look at your stack of forms. your stack of wonderful forms, there are a couple things. The first one is the letter, which I want you to put to the back because we're talking about several things having to do with that letter. There is a form that looks like this. People at home, it looks like this. There are 2 different forms right there. You will have to take a pair of scissors and cut down the middle. No, you cannot tear it. It has to be scissors.
Why?
Because I say so. So, first thing, there is a t-shirt, which the NJHS t-shirt is being redesigned for your chapter. So the ones that you have seen running around school in the last year, those are not what your shirts will look like. They will look newer and more modern. Yay, modern. So, that is where you will indicate what size t-shirt you would like. They are in adult sizes. And you will also write a check, or your parents will write a check because you can't do that. Your parents, well, they could.
I had a checking account.
At age 13?
No, I guess I was. Well, at age 13, yes, but I was a freshman.
That's terrifying. So, your parents will write a check. That $30 that they will write the check for, that covers a few things. That covers your t-shirt, first of all. That also covers membership dues. Remember, this is a national organization. So, in order to be part of that national organization, we have to pay tribute to that organization. They like money, but they also like honor, and that's why you're here. So that also will cover fees that will happen at induction, at the induction ceremony, which is very similar to kind of like a graduation ceremony. There are costs for certificates that you will get. There are costs for awards. There are costs for other things having to do with that evening. So that also covers that. So that's why $30 there. So you will cut down the middle. You will return that check along with this form to Mr. Broviak. Mr. Broviak, raise your hand. That is Mr. Broviak. Look for the pink hair, unless by that time it's blue. Will be?
You should
No.
That could be cool,
I'm
though.
changing it this weekend. But that's
Oh, okay, so pink. Pink is the color to go for. The second form on there looks very similar. It also says National Junior Honor Society. Who would have thought? That is your permission slip for Friday. This gives you permission to be here. Because I'm going to tell you, parents get horribly angry if you don't have permission to be here until 11 o'clock and we say you have to stay here until 11 o'clock. That's probably not going to fly. So, you do have to get permission. You have to have your parents sign that and check either my child has permission to be here, no, my child cannot be here, or yeah, they can be here, but they're going to leave at this time. So, make sure that one of those is checked by your parents and it is signed. Additionally, $5 for dinner if you would like some delicious, what is it, Papa John's?
Yes.
If you would like some delicious Papa John's pizza,
If you're
then-
gluten-free, please let me know. Please let me know if you're gluten-free.
yeah, because that's kind of necessary. Mr. Sturgeon.
Can I just put the $5 in with the check that's going to Mr. Brodiak?
No, folks, that's why it's 2 different items. So, you will be cutting this off. You will include $5, that's, like with Lincoln on it, like $5 in cash.
Cash.
Cash, but do not Venmo me. Do not send me euros. Do not send me cryptocurrency. Although it would be 1 Bitcoin, that'd be fine. You are going to return that to me. I know. My room is right over there. There's a big orange sign right above it, right next to Mrs. Rao. I will probably be sitting on that table out in the hallway if you come to me during passing periods. You will bring that to me. Once again, $5 and permission slip to me. $30 and t-shirt order to Mr. Broviak. His room is right here where it says Broviak. Broviak equals Mr. That's where you will take that. Well, yes, Mr. Surgeon.
$5 cash needs to be in by Thursday, so we have the money and know that you're coming. Don't bring it with you on Friday and say, oh yeah, I'm coming, because they're going to order pizza before then.
Yes.
If you need to bring $30 check later, that's fine, and turn that in on Friday, not a big deal.
Yes.
Permission slip needs to be in before Thursday. It's cool.
Okay. So those are those 2 forms. Last form, right here. This is the one that isn't the one you just looked at. And it's not the letter. Process of elimination. This is what we call the consent and understanding form. This is going to look like to some of you one of those things like whenever you read Apple's terms and conditions that you don't really read it, you just hit accept. You don't want to do that here. Because this is kind of exactly what is going to be expected of you throughout the years that you were in NJHS. So you have on here what we are expected of you. So students who show strong character, citizenship, leaders, you need to read through all that. Also at the bottom you have some of the requirements for grades. You need to maintain that A- average that got you here. Okay? Now, if you fall below that at some reason, that does not automatically mean you're kicked out. We'll talk more about that on Friday, but just calm down. And then the other part of this, service hours. You have there broken down how many service hours you will need and when to get them. So for example, between the end of Super Happy Fun Night and the end of the year, you need to accumulate 10 hours of community service. We'll talk about how to do that. We'll talk about how to say that you've done that, all of that fun stuff. But that is what is required first. Before you are inducted at the end of your 8th grade year, you will have accumulated at least 35 service hours. Be grateful because 2 years ago it was 50. And they did just fine. Most people got it.
And the form goes too.
And that form, once signed by you and signed by your parent or parents, will be returned to Miss Oskay. Miss Oskay is over in this hallway right here, right next to Mr. Geza, right across from Miss Ada and all the other art people. So,
If I'm not in my room, feel free to just drop it off at the front office and say, hey, can you put this in Miss Oskay's mailbox? Because I'm in and out of my room all the time. So if I'm not there, just front office, have them put it in my mailbox.
notice how some of this is somewhat unnecessarily complicated? That is because we want to see how responsible you are. Because if I get a check for $35 that you tell me covers dinner and dues, I'm not going to be happy because it means someone's not paying attention. Okay? Make sure you understand what goes where. Check for $30 and t-shirt form for Mr. Brobiak, permission slip and $5 for dinner to me, consent and understanding form to Miss Oskay.
Snacks, drinks, and cookies.
Snacks, drinks, and cookie. Ooh, I didn't think about it.
Write this down.
Write this down.
Probably on maybe your permission
The
slip.
permission slip one.
That way you kind of can remember it.
It's the one on the bottom.
Okay, and you can, and then your parents will see it and go, "What? I'm supposed to get this?" "Yes, I'm supposed to get this, Mom." If your last name begins with the letter A through G, that'd be A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
No.
You are going to bring with you to school on Friday a 2-liter of some kind of drink to share with everybody.
That's a lot.
I
A
don't care
through
whether
G,
it's
soda.
or lemonade or fruit punch or whatever. People have asked, well, can I just bring like a bunch of bottles of water? I suppose, but that's really a waste because we got water fountains all over the place and I don't really feel like you shouldn't do that.
That's boring.
So, 2-liter of some kind of drink to share if your last name is A through G. If
A
your
through
last
G,
name
2
is
liter.
H through M, H-I-J-K-L-M. In case you don't know the alphabet. You're going to bring a large bag of chips of some kind.
H
To
through
be able
M,
to share
chips
with
or
people.
snacks.
Some kind of chip of some kind that you can eat with fingers. This is a non-utensil eating meal that we will have. And then everybody else, N through Z, will be bringing some kind of easy serve dessert. Again, non-utensils.
Everyone else
So,
dessert.
Cookies of some kind or things along those lines, like a bag of Oreos or Girl Scout cookies are out there right now. So if anybody wants to bring in a whole bunch of Samoas, that's great.
No,
I know they're
God,
the
tag-alongs.
best.
Yes. Those are the best ones.
No, you're out.
They are the best Girl Scout cookies.
No, they're not. False.
But again, the idea is that you are bringing things to share because we will share everything with each other. But that is what you need to contribute to the meal that night. You can see it's an extremely healthy meal.
Yep.
Chips, cookies, pizza, and whatever soda you
Hear that, Bo? You're getting your pizza. You happy?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
If your friend's not here, please make sure to tell them.
And they will be watching this recording at some point.
One other thing you need to bring. This. Oh, sorry.
You're pulling a Brobiak. The other thing that you need to bring. You need to bring with you an item from your house that represents you. Some sort of unique item. Now, here's what I don't want that to be. Do not come to Super Happy Fun Night and rummage through your backpack and pull out a pencil and say, this is me because I'm a student. That's terrible. Now, if you have a trophy at home because you are the county's best Lego builder, then that's pretty cool. Maybe do not bring your mother's collection of fine china because we have had items get broken in the past. But you want to bring an item that represents you in some way. Make it unique. think in your room or in your space about what no one else would have, but that you're still able to carry to school. Please don't bring a kayak, because that could try to get that on the bus. If there's a flood, though, you're in good shape.
If you need, if it's something that doesn't go well in your locker, because your locker's a mess and jammed full of things,
Or you don't know where it is.
or whatever, you can leave it. Like if you're with me, you can bring it to my classroom and we can keep it in there. Broviac will let you keep it in his, or Mr. Stump will let you keep it in his. All right, but you need to bring that item with you on Friday.
Yes, front row child.
Never mind.
You're good. Awesome. Sorry.
Other people will be handling your object, so just keep that in mind. So if it's something super valuable, do not bring it.
Any questions about anything at this point, specifically about Super Happy Fun Night this Friday? Yes, Mr. Sturgeon.
What should I wear?
What should you wear? Comfortable. Very comfortable. Also, shoes would be a good thing to do. Maybe
High
maybe
heels?
if you were so
Flip-flops?
inclined, well, if you're so inclined, it might make the evening difficult. I would wear some sort of tennis shoe. It's kind of cold outside, so
be
maybe
active.
avoid flip-flop. You will be active. So, maybe a sweatshirt that has a short sleeve shirt underneath that you can take off because you may get a little warm. Yes, ma'am. Sturgeon food groups.
First group, A through G, was a soda, 2 liter or something. I don't remember what the next
My
one.
last name.
H through M is chips, and then N through Z is the dessert.
Yes, in the middle. With the watch.
If I were to bring a drink, would I keep it in my backpack?
Your locker.
Your locker would probably be the best bet. If you don't know where that is, I would probably look up that information quickly.
Yeah, backpack would be a lot.
Yeah, that explodes in science class. Boy, there's going to be an unhappy
Smash and
teacher.
crush, and then her waist on mad.
That's like chip
I can
salad.
hold your Samoas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And if you don't have your item, you know why. Yes,
Is it going to be inside or out?
it will be inside because weather is unpredictable. What?
If I am absent, can I attend?
No.
No, I didn't think about that. No, if you were absent on Friday, no, you cannot attend. You gotta be at school if you want to be at Super Happy Fun Night. So no, you can't take, I don't know, a personal day and then show up here at 4:05 saying, I'm ready for Super Happy Fun Night. No, because it's not ready for you. You have to be at school if you are going to attend Super Happy Fun Night. Any other questions from people that are also in charge that I haven't remembered? Guys, if you look on your letter that you got it, there is a code for Remind. That is how we will communicate pretty much everything having to do with NJHS. Whether that is a message we need to get to you, whether that is a sign up for service hours that we offer, that is how we will communicate that to you. So that access code is on there. Make sure you sign up for the Remind. Because if you're not getting information from us, that's probably why. If you don't have Remind, you need to download Remind. It is free.
You can also get it as text messages.
That's true,
You
too.
just have to send that as a text to a number, and we'll talk about that on Friday.
But if you want to sign up for that now, I will send out announcements about some of the stuff we talked about today, some reminders. But that is how we communicate. So make sure that you have Remind, first of all, downloaded, and that you have signed up using that access code that you have on your letter.
Preferably first initial, last name.
Preferably.
If you lose any of these papers, they are on the website where the application was at. So you can go right back to that spot, and these things are there. Well, your letter's not, but the permission slip and the t-shirt form and the consent form is on there.
If you don't have that QR code, because that's how you access it the first time, all you have to do is Google FJH NJHS, and it's the first result on there. So that is where you will find everything. If you lose one of these forms, go ahead and do yourself a favor, though, and don't lose them. Probably the best thing to do. So, pop quiz. The t-shirt order form and check goes to who? Point. Ooh, some people point at me. I am not Mr. Broviac.
I didn't.
Not even close.
I didn't finish.
Strawberry.
Better hair.
Depends on who you ask.
Oh, and how much is that check for?
That check, well, you tell me. How much is that check for? I'm seeing 30. Those people are correct. Congratulations. If you want to eat dinner and you want to be here, you fill out that form and you bring $5 to whom? That is correct. If he's pointing at Broviac, he's probably going to be upset with you.
If you're gluten-free, come see me before you leave today.
If you eat bread and it literally makes you turn into a monster, yes, we probably need to know that information.
If you will not be here for dinner because of coming late or leaving early, you don't pay the $5.
Correct. So if you want to save $5 and not have delicious pizza, well, that's on you. The consent and understanding form, the terms and conditions of NJHS. You will sign that, your parent will sign that, and point to the person that goes to. No, do not put that on some poor student.
Ariana can handle it.
Okay, that's fine. No, let's go and give that to Ms. Oskay, though, just to be safe.
All right. Next week.
Next week. All right, any other questions? Anything unclear?
Find us if you have questions in the next couple days.
Again, I'm right there. Brobiak's right there. Sturgeon's down there somewhere. Oskay's down there. Mr. Stump isn't here, so he doesn't matter.
I just want to do a babble thing when you're done. It's about honors. Or
Babble away, Mr. Brobiak.
So
You do not want to miss this.
You do not, folks. This is a really good time.
no. So super happy fun night. We've not really given you guys details on what it is. Essentially, it is going to be leadership training. The whole idea of super happy fun night is you guys got invited because of grades. Then you had to do an application to prove that you had honor and worth. Our whole point of creating this was to create leaders going into next year, leaders going into the high school. Those kids we are going to rely on as those top kids as leaders here. Leadership does not necessarily come naturally. So part of what we do on Friday is we are going to be doing activities to show you how to do leadership, how to work in a group. But to do that, it involves a lot of games. It's going to involve a lot of having fun. It's going to involve some frustration, which makes things entertaining and fun for us also. In all honesty, it is one of the most memorable things you can do here at our school. The two big things that happen at our school that are going to be memorable are Camp Tecumseh and Super Happy Fun Night. When those kids go on to high school, they go on to college, and they come back, those are the events that happen here they talk about as the most memorable events that happened the entire time they were here in junior high.
And we have people in high school like breaking down the door to come back to Super Happy Fun Night
Absolutely.
because they had a good time, in which case we kind of have to hold the door and tell them no.
And so it's one of those things where if you're trying to figure out if it's a thing you should come to, it is one of the most critical parts of going into the Honor Society. It is the bonding that happens that night is not something we can replicate. We don't film it. It is not a thing that we can pass along to you either. You are either there for it and get all of that stuff that goes into it, or you're not. We're still going to hope you become a good leader. It just won't be with our one-to-one guidance throughout that evening. So those of you who might have other activities that are pulling on your time, I cannot tell you enough how critical it is that if you can be there for this night, it is a thing you want to be there for. If you miss it, it does not hurt us. The reason I tell you this is I don't want you to be the kid that regrets it. I don't want you to be the kid that misses it because you go to some other event and then everyone talks about what happened at that night, because you never get to do it again. You don't get to come back in 8th grade. It's not a thing you get to experience in high school. It is a once-in-your-lifetime event that is going to occur. So I don't want to build it up too much. I just need you to understand there is weight that goes into it, because this is what we sort of planned to make you guys those great people. After Super Happy Fun Night, you have then earned our trust. And at that point, you become those Honor Society kids we rely on. Because throughout the course of that night, we watch you change from the goofy little 7th graders at the beginning of the night to these advanced, smart kids who can then handle all the responsibility we put on them by the end of the night. And so being there for that transformation is kind of critical. Yes. How many nights? 1. Just this Friday, and that is it. Unless you find a way to manipulate time travel. But we've not figured that out quite yet.
I have.
Except for him.
See you on Friday.
Yo, he